everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Oceana. Today I wanted to share some nonfiction books that are worth your time. These are all going to be Christian nonfiction. I haven't read as many good non-Christian nonfiction books, so these are all Christian ones because these are worth your time, and I just wanted to recommend a short little list. So if you've read all of these, then I think you're a good person. If you haven't read any of these, totally fine. But if you are looking to get into some Christian nonfiction, these ones I think just give a good baseline of like what Christian nonfiction can be and how like you can grow from reading it. So the number one recommendation would be The Craze for Christ by Lee Strobel. So Lee Strobel used to be an atheist, but then his wife became a Christian, and he goes on a quest to prove Christianity false, and in the process of doing that he converts to Christianity and accepts Jesus into his heart. So he documents all of it in this book. He goes into all of his research to try to debunk Christianity, and he ends up proving it instead. So I just found this book fascinating. It's told in interview style, and it does get a little technical sometimes because he does go into like historical records and stuff like that, so it's definitely very technical, but I still understood everything because it's in interview style. It's very conversational at the same time. So yeah, I just think this is a great book. Highly recommend it. I'm slowly reading through all of Lee Strobel's books because I just think that the way that he talks about Christianity is very almost black and white, I guess, and very technical. So if that appeals to you, then this would be a great place to start. Okay, next I would recommend The Pursuit of Holiness by Jerry Bridges. This is a really pretty copy. This isn't the copy that I read when I first read it, but basically Jerry Bridges explains what holiness means and what it means that Jesus is holy, and then what it looks like for us to pursue that in ourselves. And I just found it so profound, the way that he wrote about holiness, and then very practical for what it looks like in a human's life to pursue holiness. It was very encouraging, and I think lots of Christians would like this book, so I would definitely recommend it. And isn't this copy so pretty? I really like it, and it's a short book, so definitely if you ever see this around, it's probably in your library as well because it's a classic, so I would check it out. Okay, next I want to recommend Traveling Light by Max Lucado. I have it in a bind up of 3 books. This has Come Thirsty, Traveling Light, and Next Door Savior, which they just all sound so great. But yeah, I guess I'll show the cover for Traveling Light. If you're actually looking for it, you won't see this cover. Anyway, so Traveling Light is basically about Psalm 23 a little bit, but mainly that we were made as humans to rely on the Father and to not carry our own burdens and to just constantly be giving them over to Him, and how our life can actually feel light if we, give our burdens over right away. And I really found this book so gentle in the way that it spoke. It's really like Max Lucado was really trying to comfort and encourage the reader to just that he understands how hard life can be, and Jesus understands even more, and that Jesus is so on our side, especially when we think He's not, especially when we feel like we have to figure stuff out on our own. I definitely struggle with that, and so yeah, this book meant a lot to me. It really showed me how nothing in my life is mine to bear alone. Like, there are things, of course, that we go through. We can't like stop our emotions, but I guess the weight of having to figure it out doesn't have to be ours. So yeah, I really like this book. I'd recommend it. Okay, next book is What If It's True by Charles Martin. This is for sure worth your time. This is one of my favorite nonfiction books. Basically, Charles Martin goes into, I guess it's a bit similar to The Case for Christ, and yet this is way more like spiritual and less research based, not in a bad way, but just like he goes into the heart of the Bible and what it talks about. And he basically wants to present the notion that if everything in the Bible is true, how should we be living? And it's really like addressing a lot of heart issues in yourself. So be prepared. He's definitely going to call you out to like face your stuff. But I found it so beautiful the way that he wrote about it. And then after every chapter, he has a very long, beautiful prayer that you can pray as if you're saying it to God. And I just loved it. I loved it. So would highly recommend. Charles Martin just has a beautiful way with words. So yeah, I'd recommend this. Okay, and last book that I think is worth your time is Seeking Allah, Finding Jesus. So this book is about a Muslim man who ends up investigating Christianity and converts to Christianity through the course of the book. And so it's similar to The Case for Christ in that way as well, but this time, instead of atheism, it's Islam. That is the religion, I guess. And I loved this book because it really showed me the heart behind Islam and how people who like are of that faith really, it can be very sincere, and for this author it was super sincere, and I'd never seen it that way before just because the media portrays it in a very negative light. And so yeah, it was just really nice for me to see that new perspective. And then he ended up making friends with a Christian and asked a ton of questions back and forth, and he documents all of it. He shares about his family and what the conversion was like, and a little bit of his after or post conversion as well, once he became a Christian. But most of the book is the build up to him making the decision to follow Jesus, and I loved it. It was very engaging, and yeah, would highly recommend. It's a good one. So yeah, those are just some nonfiction books that I think are worth your time, especially if you're not a nonfiction reader. I think these ones can all meet you in a different way, in a different need in your life. So yeah, of the list, I think you could definitely find one that would speak to you and you would enjoy reading. If you've read all of them, that's amazing. They're great, aren't they? If you have any Christian nonfiction that you think is a good starting point for people who don't really read nonfiction, I would love for you to put it in the comments. We can start a recommendation train, and kind of keep in mind that it's for Christians who don't really read nonfiction but might want to. Yeah, I just thought this would be a nice little video. So thank you for watching, you guys. I will see you in my next one. Bye. I don't have any like non-Christian books to say. Gang.